song. Art song. Dawn in the water basically is soap solution, isn't it? And the nice thing about this is we certainly when we go into schools and all, we make sure teachers appreciate the simplicity of these things. You don't need a lot of expense and all. If you can imagine that I have a round piece of copper wire in a circle, and I dip it into this solution, as many of you have done when you were smaller with soap bubbles. You always have the little round plastic things in there, and you form a film, and you blow on it and make bubbles. That is your earliest. That's one of the earliest science experiments that you did. It was a very pleasant one, and probably accounts for why some of the chemists are sitting here today. That was a good experience for you. It turns out that idea of soap bubbles transcends age. You can take the oldest grandparent in the world. They look like they just kind of faded out into the sunset. But you give them what is that? Well, it's a soap bubble, Grandma. Try to blow it. I can't blow it. I got COPD. Yeah, you can, Grandma. It doesn't take it long. And a little smile comes and the eyes light up, huh? And that's what you did when you were small. Unfortunately, there were some other events in your life that were not so pleasant. Let us imagine that this extension cord is in the wall. The end of it is in the wall. And so in your inquiry into the world about you, you crawl toward said object in the wall. Of course, you were teasing, so your fingers were wet. And just about the time you touched the end of this, something came out of the air and rolled you over about 3 times. Don't you ever do that! Some of you artists are sitting here because that was your experience. Never turn to the sciences again. Okay. Soap film went out because we got 70 to 10 here, but I'm counting like that today. Okay. So you have to hair put soap bubbles. Okay. If I take that plastic rod and stick it in the solution and pull it back, everybody knows they'll form a film. I don't even have to do the experiment. But I challenge the chip generation. You are the chip generation, you know. I'm pre-chip.
Microchip.
I had to get help today on how to get rid of some message on my phone. I didn't know what it would tell. It said invalid number. I'm trying to call my own mailbox. Get my messages off that say invalid number. Are you kidding me? This is why old people have trouble in life. Okay? Because every time a new device comes along, we got to remember what the sequences is. And as Pickles said, something's got to fall out when that happens. So Pickles' wife came in, Pickles' wife came in and said, Earl, garbage is going to pick up on Wednesday and Thursday. Don't you forget that. Earl turned to her grandson and said, there went my Social Security number. You're not even laughing because you don't even get it. You don't even get it. That's how quick you are. Anyhow, you're the chip generation. You had access to a lot of different experiments. I want you to go from 2 dimensions to 3 dimensions. I have here a pyramid. There's no one in this room with all the YouTubes and all the Facebooks, yada, 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 that you can tell me what will happen when I dip this into the soap solution and pull it out. What will I see? Unless you've seen it done. You don't know. You don't know. I brought you to a screeching halt. Have you done, let's see now, talk to all of you, didn't I? Did I find out where you came from? Pennsylvania too. York, wasn't it? Pennsylvania. Where was York? I stopped the road too soon? Okay. Can I move over to the chemist? Have you done this?
Nope.
You have no idea what it's going to look like. But I'm confident enough that I'm going to let him do the experiment. I'm not going to demonstrate it. I'm not going to do it. Huh? How's that for repeatability? You see, people that do demonstrations, they got magic hands. You cheat, you already know how to do it. No, there's no cheating. Okay, so I'm going to let him do it.
Just dip it in?
Just dip it in all the way down, pull it back. What you got for me?
What?
You got soap films inside that pyramid. We'll come around to you. We'll come around. We've got soap films on the inside of that pyramid. They're not on the outside. They're not on the outside 3 faces. 1, 2, 4 faces. How many I got here? 4. They're on the inside. Why? Because if they were on the outside, that would be more surface area than the faces that you now see on the inside. That's the smallest geometric area you can have. And the reason we do it with soap, with liquids, is because liquids are flexible and they'll conform. I couldn't do this with a solid. Every solid that you see in this room, including this glass tube, and the chairs you're sitting on, and the tables, they're all the wrong shape. They're all the wrong shape. They should all be spheres, because a sphere is that three-dimensional object which has the least area for a given mass, okay? The soap films will do that for you. Now the people are standing up and over and oh yeah, come over here. I'll let you do it. How about it? You want to take a shot at it? Let's break that one out again so we can do it from this side of the room. Right on you. Every time. Almost there. Every time. You put it in the part way, you get the thing like you kind of hardball like that, but you take the thing and punch it, so it push back films on the inside.
I'm really glad like you did it so I could like be close and actually
Civil War, they came down to near Blacksburg on I-77. Shot tower had molten lead at the top. They dropped it down 100 feet or so till it hit water, but while it was dropping, it was molten liquid, and so it went to a sphere, and when it hit the water, it quenched it. So this is a demonstration of how nature moves to minimize surface area. And just one more for fun, since that side of the room didn't see it over here, I pulled up a cube. You know the faces are not, the 6 faces are not going to be on the outside. You know they're not going to be on the outside. Who wants to dip? So you're going to dip. Dip it right on in there. Pull it in all the way there. You got it, now pull it back. There you go. There you go. Beautiful geometric pattern. Again, filmed to the inside, but it's got that funny little square right in the middle of it. Not a cube, a square. If we dip again, sometimes we can catch it. You can put it back. Now we've got almost like a cube on the inside, but if we punch that, that's more surface area than nature is going to afford us. And you see for a moment it pulled back the shape you did the first time. So we can use these little soap things over and over and over. You're never going to find a smaller area than that. You can imagine lots more areas, but none smaller than what. And after we finish, we can come up and dip these yourself. Easy to build with just a little piece of copper wire and solder to make the different shapes, all kind of shapes. We got several more up here, but that's all right. Okay, well,
you're good. Dan came up years ago, and he did this experiment for the artist students, and one of the students decided he wanted to do this for a practical experience out in middle school, so he built the frames and took them out, and he was working with a math teacher in middle school. And this is actually one of the drawings made by, well, this is what Nick did. He lined it up with the SOLs, of course, which are certainly, you all are part of the SOL generation. He had nice objectives. The student will explore the current concept of surface area by artistically rendering the manner through which soap bubbles align themselves on a three-dimensional form. And this is a middle schooler's drawing of what they saw once they dipped the cube into the soap solution, and so they got that sort of internal cube shape, which is just, and they were actually measuring, they were doing a process of measuring surface area. So this is a really nice chance for the math teacher to see how art was really integral in the students exploring this visually, drawing it out, and then measuring what they've drawn. It's really nice across the curriculum lesson, which is what these students are involved in right now. So thought I would share that with you all. And a couple images. I know when Dad and I first started doing